What's going on, everybody? My name is Michael Weer, and today we're talking about a brand new horror movie called The Pope's Exorcist. And I feel like every year we get an exorcism movie, and they all pretty much follow the same tropes. Somebody gets possessed, no one believes them, stuff gets crazier, the church gets involved, the church believes them, the church performs an exorcism, the demon is expelled forever, until the sequel. And then so on and so on and so on. And I feel like we've gotten that ever since the original Exorcist, which, by the way, did you know they are making a direct sequel to the original Exorcist movie that comes out later this year in October? But that's a video for another day. Let's talk about The Pope's Exorcist. Going into this movie, I was excited. I was like, I think they're going to do something different with this. And unfortunately, they don't. Pretty much all of the tropes in an exorcism movie are in this movie. Does that make the movie bad? Well, let's jump into my review for The Pope's Exorcist.
My faith does not require defense.
And so, guys, The Pope's Exorcist stars Russell Crowe as the title character, the Pope's Exorcist, also known as Father Gabriel Amorth, and he plays the chief exorcist at the Vatican. He is the Pope's personal exorcist, and he goes on special missions for the Pope, and the Pope finds things and says, hey, we need you to go take this out. It was almost kind of like a Van Helsing vibe there. Like, they were like, the church was so much bigger than it seems. Like, the church seems like just the church, the place to worship God. But then, as it turns out, they're actually battling evil, and that's kind of what they're going for here. He didn't have weapons. But this movie, like, just one more studio executive gets involved, and I guarantee this movie involves blades and guns and weapons, and it's just The Pope's Exorcist, and he's got like 2 guns on the front cover of the poster. Wouldn't shock me. Okay, but they actually tried to keep this movie legit because this is based technically kind of sort of on a true story about this Father Gabriel who was an exorcist for the church. And that's the extent of the information that I have on the true story. You can go to my mom for more information on this, although she doesn't have a YouTube channel. But she might be watching this, and if you are, hi, Mom. With that aside, let's get into the story in the movie. As far as the movie's concerned, Father Gabriel is a priest who doesn't believe most exorcisms are necessary. The movie even shows at the beginning of the movie where he shows up to someone's residence who says they've been possessed. This person is tied down to a bed, and he convinces the demon inside of them to jump into a pig, and then they kill the pig. But really what's going on is he gets the person to sort of let go of that demonic presence that they think is in their head, and then they're cured. And so he thinks that the majority of exorcisms don't actually need to happen because it's mostly just mental illness with people. Not to say that he doesn't believe in those things, because he is a priest. He does believe in good and evil, and he does believe that some of the cases are outside of the realm of science, and that he believes some of those cases, in this movie at least, again, I don't know the guy personally, I don't know his story, but some of those cases are real. And of course, that is where the story takes Father Gabriel to this abbey that has been sort of gifted to a family from America who's run out of money, and so they come to this abbey and they're trying to have it fixed up when an explosion happens and something is let out and it possesses the young boy of that family. Once that boy is possessed, like I said, you're getting to the normal exorcism tropes. Nobody believes that it's actually happening, and then things get worse, and then the church gets involved, and then things get worse, and now Father Gabriel has been sent in to exorcise the demon out of this boy. And of course, this time it's an actual demon, and so you've got this Pope's exorcist trying to exorcise this demon because he thinks this is just a normal exorcism. But what's actually going on is there's more to this. The demon is trying to actually get to Father Gabriel because he has grander plans to fight the church. So there's also a war going on the other side fighting the church. So you got a war coming this way, you got a war this way, and Father Gabriel sort of in the middle stopping this war. Again, just one more studio interference and he would have had guns. It would have changed the whole plot of this movie, guaranteed. But does this movie stand out from other exorcism movies? I will say in some ways it does. This movie finds a way to not be scary. And I don't mean to say that as a dislike. I haven't gotten to my likes and dislikes yet. This movie just, it's not a very scary movie. At no point in the movie did I feel the tension of being scared in the movie theater. But I think it does stand out in a way that is positive for the movie, and that is Russell Crowe's character, or his portrayal of Father Gabriel. Like, he was a very likable character in this movie, to the point where I would want to go get a sandwich with this guy. And I don't know why I said sandwich. That's weird, but I'm gonna leave it in. He was a very likable character, though, to the point at the end of this movie, when the movie credits rolled, I turned to the person next to me and I said, you know, I would actually watch more movies with this Father Gabriel character I would watch more. Like he was an enjoyable character throughout, even though the tropes of this movie sort of bogged the movie down for me, because I was like, all right, this is going to lead to this is going to lead to this, and it did. I liked that. So I think it did stand out to a point in that it wasn't as much scary as it focused on Father Gabriel more, but then because it focused on Father Gabriel, it made the movie more enjoyable. With that said, getting into my likes for this movie, the one thing I really like is Russell Crowe's character. I think that, again, he plays a character that I would want to go to lunch with. He was a character that I would want to have a conversation with. And so because of that, because they elevated that character more in this movie instead of the exorcism stuff, but to be clear, the movie is focused around the exorcism stuff, but just because they focus so much on his character and his character's development throughout this movie, I liked that about the movie. Another thing I really liked is the demon does something that I've never seen happen before. Like, I've seen exorcist movies where there's multiple demons in one person. That's nothing new. But in this movie, the demon does something where it sort of splits off between different characters, and I've never seen that in an exorcism movie before. Granted, I've never seen all of the exorcism movies that exist, so maybe that's happened in the past. But for me, it was a first time, and I like that. Like, this demon was able to split between two people for a minute, and I kind of like that. It came out of nowhere, and it was a good twist to the story toward the end of the movie. Not to harp on it too much, but my dislikes for this movie is the fact that this movie just follows all the normal tropes. They didn't have anything new in that exorcism genre. I'm still waiting for an exorcist movie to wow me like the movie The Last Exorcism. Although that movie did follow most of the normal tropes. I just feel like they can't find a way to get out of that wheelhouse of somebody getting possessed and then nobody really cares, and then it gets worse, and then the church gets involved. Like, that's how it always goes. Even the Conjuring movies, which I love, are possession movies, and they are always that same pattern where there's always this confusion, and then people start to believe, and then they expel the demon. It's just, can they find a way to get around that trope? Is there an Exorcist movie that gets around that trope? And if there is, throw that in the comment section because I would love to know. Overall, guys, I will say I think The Pope's Exorcist was a fun time. I didn't dislike this movie to the point where I will never watch it again or I don't want anything to do with this universe again. No, like I said, I would actually watch more movies centered around this Father Gabriel character. It's not a very scary movie, so if your whole thing is I want to be scared in the theater, this movie's not really going to be for you because it's not a very scary movie. At the end of the day, though, this movie just kind of follows the normal tropes of an Exorcist movie, so if that's what you're going for, you will really enjoy this movie. But if you're looking for something a little more like I was hoping for, you're not going to get that. And guys, that's my movie review for The Pope's Exorcist. If you enjoyed this review, don't forget to hit that like button. It goes a long way. I really appreciate that. If you have seen The Pope's Exorcist and you've got thoughts and you've got comments, put those in the comment section down below. So I'd love to know your thoughts. Again, if you know an Exorcist movie that kind of goes outside the box, I'm interested. Put that in the comment section too, because I would like to see what that movie can bring to the genre. And finally, guys, if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, make sure you do that because I got a lot of content coming your way. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Well, we made it to the end of the Pope's Exorcist review. Guys, if you like horror movies, I did a whole bunch of horror movie reviews. You can find that playlist right there. Or if you like regular movie reviews, all of my 2023 reviews are right there.